Beautiful night, beautiful light, and welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Coming to you live once again from Las Vegas. I go by Melinda NailFanatic, and I'm back to deliver this latest, timeless, collective channel message from the Tarot in the Shadow series. So if you're here, it's by divine design. If it resonates, pick it up and run with it. If it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Either way, make your choices and decisions responsibly today, because you'll always have the consequences and repercussions to pay. You have questions, I have answers. You can find those facts on my website, located in the title of this live, raw, real, unedited, uncut, unscripted, deprogrammed, sugar-free broadcast, because the only thing I'm sugarcoating around here is these nails. And you can come get yours done with me here in Las Vegas, but we're here to do the Tarot in the Shadows tonight. So we pulled some Alpha and Omega messages for your Tarot in the Shadows tonight. My grandsons did not put the cards in the box the right way. Oh my goodness. Okay, got it. So they didn't want to come out. They were a little bit tight. All right. We're going to start off with the Oracle card from the Spiritual AF deck to see what's the energy for Tarot in the Shadows tonight. The Shadow Work spread wanted to come out. It was a spread that I developed for this series. So we'll use that spread tonight. It's a 7-card spread. And it's when I came up with when I channeled this spread, it was about assisting us to work on whatever's going on in the shadow, which is the difficult places, the unknown parts, the parts we'd like to skip over, pretend like they're not there, the parts that we'd rather not face. Okay. It says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. Notice how you feel when you're with a person. If you feel like shit, don't hang out with them. It's that straightforward. For reals, they don't have to be bad people for you to choose not to engage. It may just be your reaction to them. Even if you can't remove yourself from their presence completely, you can at least check in with the part of you that gets crazy and give it the love it needs. I was just talking today about our reactions to people and about how our presence and our love don't necessarily go together, and they don't have to. Love does not equal presence. And in many cases, love will take us away from situations and circumstances because we see that it's not yielding the fruit of love. So I'm going to get us started with some oracle cards in our spread from the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. So we'll pull 7 cards from this one and see what's going on in shadows at this time. Something makes you uncomfortable. It's not pleasant. There's an experience that doesn't feel good. Or is it the opposite end of the message that you're feeling, where you get around certain people and the magic is pulled out of you? For me, I took my children across town to where they live today, took them home, and I knew on my way home I was going to stop at a couple of different places. So here I go, following my spirit. The first place where I didn't stop was a jazz. It's a jazz lounge. It's normally just a little neighborhood bar, but on Thursdays, it's a live jazz lounge. And tonight was jazz night. But for whatever reason, I found myself on the opposite side of the street with traffic. So I was like, am I going in there? Do I need to get over there? And they're like, nope, just pass by and think about jazz. I'm like, okay. And now as I'm saying that, that had a little bit deeper meaning here while I was talking to you about that. Anyhow, so then I went to the next spot, walked in, did my walk around, didn't see any or feel any pull to stay there. And it's like, okay, let's go to the next spot. So I went to another spot, stood there for a minute, did my walk around, and left to a third spot, which was really on my mind from the beginning, but I was literally guided to go to all these different spots first. Upon walking into the third spot, who do I bump into but a couple of my friends? Well, associates. They became more friends today. Let me say it that way. A couple of people who I've met in the past, who I've vibed well with since I met them, and one I've spoken to many times since then, always kind of brief. But the other one, I had a long, in-depth conversation with just once before. So it was really nice to bump into them and come to find out they know each other. So that was pretty cool because they were there hanging out together. So I ended up hanging out with them. And that was a great time. Great conversation happened. In the conversation, one of the things that came up was dropping burdens, because one of them told me, he said, that he came from this line and that line too. So he's part Black and part Native American. And so he was talking about how both sides of his lineage come from highly oppressed people, enslaved people and stuff. Like, we know what happened in our social studies in history, right? About the past with them, with those two groups of people who were disrespected for being how they were born, basically. And then he's like, and I'm a trifecta, because then on top of it all, I'm gay. And so he proceeds to tell me his experience, and my spirit wanted to cut him off. And I'm like, I just heard something for you. Do you want to hear it, or do you want me to just keep listening? And he wanted to hear it. And what came through was talking about how, because he had all those different struggles that he had carried, and that both lines of his energy had carried, and yet he approached life with the energy of love being his response. He always comes with love, and that's what made him feel compelled to talk to me. He noticed that he get love when I come around, and so he wanted to give love back to me, and he notices that, and that's one of the things that started our conversation. And I told him, every time you bring love to these experiences that you're talking about have been so heavy struggles for your lines. I said, the reason why is because you're the one who has the strength to put those burdens down, not just for yourself, but in doing it for yourself, it affects your lines, all those lines, the gay line, the Black line, the Native American line, all of it. And on top of that, all the other soul ties that you have. And so that was very, he really appreciated that message that he got. It was really beautiful, because it was like, just a confirmation. Like he's like, no matter what I meant from this type of situation to that type of situation, because of ethnicity or history or whatever, that he always responded with love. And I told him what came through from him is, every time you do that, you lay the burden down, and it affects your genetics, it affects your DNA, and it affects things for your family line and your soul connections too. So that was a pretty awesome conversation. And then I was going to leave from hanging out with them. And this girl, she was a beautiful woman. And she was there when we were first talking. She was talking to her friends. But I noticed her when we got there. And she gets on the stage to do karaoke. It was karaoke night. I didn't sing tonight. But she gets on the stage to do karaoke, and she does a jazz song. And I can't even tell you the name of it, but I know that I've heard the song a lot. It's a very popular song. But I really enjoyed that I still got to hear jazz tonight. So it was like my spirit wanted to run to her and tell her, thank you so much for singing a jazz song. Never heard jazz in that bar before at karaoke night. Never at all in that bar have I heard jazz. So it was really cool. And so it's like my spirit just wanted to run to her and thank her for playing jazz. So as I said goodnight to my friends, I was like, I'm going to go tell the lady how much I appreciate her playing jazz, because I had just been telling one of the guys about the live jazz place that I passed by, and he was so interested. He's like, we should all go together. I'm like, that sounds like fun. And so I'm like, yeah, I gotta go thank her for singing a jazz song. So I walked up to her, thanked her for singing a jazz song. She asked if I had a smoke because she saw me in the smoking section. And I'm like, so do you want to have a smoke with me then? So she was like, yeah. So we went out and sat and smoked. Got into this whole conversation with this really cool person who had decided to go see what it was like to be living the hippie lifestyle. Gypsy, lived on the beach for a while, lived with the homeless, and had a whole experience with that. And so there was a lot of conversation about a lot of what they dealt with was a lot of mental issues and how they would all get together and help each other. She even talked about a group of very wealthy kids. They have like this, it's like a program or something, some sort of organization that gets them together, and they're all very wealthy kids, and they go live on the beach and help take care of the homeless. So it was really interesting. Yeah, really interesting conversation. Talking about human consciousness. What I found really interesting the most about my conversation with her was so this young man comes out and sits next to us and overhears part of us talking about mental well-being. And he mentioned that he's manic bipolar, but he's a therapist. He's a therapist now. And so he was talking to her about different medicines and things like that. And she mentioned she stopped taking all the medicines. And so it's like, well, how do you manage? And she's like, well, I'm not. I'm just having a good time as much as I can. I come and I drink and this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay. So he starts talking to her about, emotional awareness and different medicines that he believes could be beneficial and stuff. And he says, so that way you don't get mad and your emotions don't take you down a downward spiral. She's like, no, I'm always happy. And when I'm manic happy. I'm like, I've never heard that before. Manic happy. She said she was manic happy. So it was really interesting. And so, of course, I invited her to watch the channel. I'm like, you might like some of the stuff we're talking about on the show that I produce on YouTube. So she thought it was interesting. And at some point, I'm sure she'll tune in. But it was a really interesting conversation. And my whole thing was, like, I left my house knowing that I was going to go do something. Just open to wherever I was pulled. Then on my way home, I'm listening to this song, and it's like Un Puño de Tierra. It's a Spanish song. He's like, I'm like the seagulls on the ocean. They swim from port to port. He's like, I don't do nothing bad to nobody, and when I die, I'm not taking nothing with me but this piece of dirt right here, this land, And so he just talked about. So I'm just looking at everything, and I'm like, sometimes your spirit is gonna take you to some random places, and you don't know why you're there. And somebody could say you walked into the first two places to just walk out. Like, what a waste of time. I didn't see it that way. That came out in my conversation with the group tonight about how you're taken for a different reason. And sometimes you're just taken to be there, just to pass through for a minute, to lend your energy. Yeah, that came out in a conversation about how I channeled it through. When you're really high vibrating frequency, you require less sleep because you're constantly self-generating energy. And also because of that, negative energy is seeking its polar opposite, which is why opposites attract, so that it can be leveled out, and you're constantly transmuting energy. I can't remember why we talked about that, but it did come out. It was important. I don't know. So I guess why I'm saying all this, point of the story, you don't know why you are going somewhere. When you get there, you'll know how it feels, in harmony with the card that came out from the spiritual AF deck. You'll know how it feels. And all these experiences, I was curious. I was curious what the world had to offer me. I was curious why I had been where I was. I was curious what I was here for. I found people that knew me. I found people that didn't know me. I had great conversations with all of them and spread a lot of awareness. And then that's just stuff that I'm consciously aware of. There's all the other stuff that happens invisibly in the energy that we don't even know about. And so where is that happening for you? Have you been spending some time doing some things that make you feel like you shouldn't be there? It feels so uneasy that you feel like you got to go, but you've been forcing yourself to stay there. I hear there's a whole world of opportunities and a whole lot of things that want to happen for you. A lot of very beneficial places in where you can, what's the right word? It's not deliver your energy. It's not like, it's share your energy, reciprocate energy, cycle your energy, circulate your energy. That are very beneficial places to circulate your energy. They're very beneficial places to circulate your energy. Following the path of bliss is going to take you to it. Even the path of curiosity, somebody says, I don't have any bliss in my life. Even the path of curiosity, the path of interest. Oh, this interests me, that interests me. And so following that path will take you to different situations and circumstances to meet different ones. And one of the things that was consistent in all the different conversations that I had this evening was everybody there was like all into paying attention to what vibe they receive, what vibe they allow. There was so much that was said. I'm like, I hope we said, there's this part of me that's saying, I hope we've mentioned and talked about whatever it was that you really wanted to come through. You know, you always do. I hear, you know, you always do. You always do. You say exactly what's meant to be said and exactly what's meant to be heard. Okay. So we've been pulling the cards for the shadow work spread. I want to give a shout out to Janine, our first commenter for the live session. Trahib in the house with Norma Jean moderating. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. What did you do today? How did you experience your world? What interesting conversations did you have? What interesting people did you meet? I even bumped into the owner of the hair shop from across the street from my shop. And I guess he closed his business down and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do with himself now. He's not set anything in stone. He's thinking about following the suggestions from random people or the people who he talks to about it. And I did mention to him, if you'd like some coaching on that, I would love to help you with that. I could coach. I do coaching. I could help you. We could use cards to help discover some things that could be of interest and channel through whatever comes through. And so he's like, oh my God, I forgot you do that. I should totally call you for that. So I'll call you. He's talking about coming and getting his services done next week. So that was cool. Again, the whole point is if I didn't follow the urge, because there was this part of it, I wasn't even like prepared to go out. I was not. So I just followed the urge. I knew I was going to go out. I didn't really get myself together because I wasn't, part of me was like, no, we're just going to come back home. But when I was out there driving, it's like, no, you got to go. The conversations that I had today were very upbuilding. They were very encouraging. And it was all because I was willing to follow that spiritual calling inside and sense out the vibration. The first two places that I walked in, I took a walk around and I looked around and I asked myself, is this where I really want to be? And it's like, no. Okay, let's go. All right. We got all the cards out. We'll see how all of that comes into play with this experience is coming through the cards today. I've laid out the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle, the ¿cómo se llama? The Kawaii Tarot cards and the Chibi Tarot cards in the 7-card spread. So let's go to our first position. The first position asks the question, what is happening in the shadows that warrants attention? Now remember, the place of the shadows is a place where we don't want to think about it. We don't want to look at it. I don't want to talk to you about that. Oh, it was kind of like this morning's show. If you were watching this morning show, oh God. The stuff that we'd rather not talk about, the stuff that's uncomfortable, the stuff that hurts to talk about, the hurt places, the hurt experiences, the hell no, I don't want to talk about that stuff. Why do we need to talk about that stuff, right? That's the kind of stuff that's living in the shadows. So let's see what is happening in the shadows that warrants our attention. And it's Santa Muerte with the offering. There's a change. There's a death. There's an ending. There's a sacrifice. Something has to go so something else could be in balance. Okay, there's the idea of karma. I see the idea of karma in this card. That's the freaking Grim Reaper with his scythe, man. Somebody gonna die when this comes in. So in the shadows, there's still some feelings about an ending, about a passing, about a transition, about a termination, about a final phase. They're showing me, because there's all these flowers here growing, and so one of the things I'm seeing is compost. Compost is the residuals, the leftovers, the not unbeneficial matter, okay? But even that could be used, the unbeneficial matter could even be used as fertilizer for the flowers to grow. So I saw, like, you turn shit into fertilizer. So this is what's going on in the shadows. There's some shit, there's some ending there. Scorpio energy for somebody, there's a Scorpio there. So something is, there's an offering, there's a sacrifice that's being made. Let's see what else we have. The tower. The tower, it's an ending that's sudden, unexpected, an unexpected loss, the fall down of something. But here's the thing, even in this tower, it's got all these winking, smiling faces, right? And then in reality, it's dying. The Grim Reaper is there. It's dying. Okay, this tower, it's crooked. It's not straight. It's not stable. It could fall at any time. But everybody's just been smiling at it. This is, for whatever reason, I just saw a kid who has been passed in school. And they graduated him, so he's got a high school diploma, but don't know how to do nothing. The tower falls at some point, because that's fake. Without the basic skills, basic knowledge or whatever, like, that stuff's going to come out and catch him in the butt. Okay, the King of Swords is here. What's happening in the shadow? There's thoughts, awareness, clarity. Okay, but it's in the shadow. This is what's happening in the shadow. So somebody here is using, they got on their mind a situation. I feel like you keep thinking about it. This is you and your thoughts and what you keep thinking about. And what you keep thinking about is this tower and this death card. Okay, somebody has a fear of dying. Somebody has a fear that everything's going to fall apart. Somebody's always waiting for the next shoe to drop. Fear of falling. Somebody keeps having a dream that they're falling. Oh, somebody's afraid of falling in love because they're afraid they'll lose their independence. And because I'm hearing Fall For You, the song from Leela James. Yeah. Would you catch me if I fall for you? Somebody is trying to stay out of their heart and stay into their mind. Like, I got to be reasonable about this. I can't just fall in love right now. Like, I love my independence. I love my life. I built this whole tower by myself. Yeah, well, there's illusions in it. It's not built on a stable foundation, something. Afraid of it coming to an end. Afraid that even this in the shadow, for somebody, this is a fear that you haven't built something stable. You have the idea that it's not stable. I heard it's a lot more stable than you think it is. Just because your path has been twisty and turny doesn't necessarily mean that it's not stable. I heard there's a lot of roundabout ways to get there. So I see somebody too in the shadows, like there's fears and worries and concerns about, and you took the wrong step. You think that you were doing something wrong. Somebody here, something happened here. Time was up. With the tower and the Santa Muerte together, I feel the energy of time's up. Time was up on something. And you're doing everything you can to try to figure out a way to stop it from falling. I heard, but you can't stop it from falling. See, in this card, the tower is still standing. It has not toppled over. And as a matter of fact, this tower is pretty, I'm seeing the way the connection is between each level of this. There's 3 levels to this tower here. And the way I'm seeing the image is it looks like it's welded. It's welded together. So it's a lot more stable than you think it is, but there's this fear that it's going to be death. You're afraid that suddenly you're going to lose everything. You're afraid that suddenly you're going to lose your independence. You're afraid that suddenly something bad is going to happen. Like I said, somebody is always waiting. Yeah, I see you always waiting for the next shoe to drop. Okay. What's happening in the shadows? For somebody, this is, you have a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius person who's come into your life. You're nervous about this change. You got some fears about this change in your life. Okay. You're afraid that it's going to fall down. Okay. The Tower also, I heard ego strike. Okay. So what's happening in the shadow? Is this somebody said something that hurt your ego? Is this somebody here doesn't want to accept that things are changing because the ego don't like it? Because your ego would like to keep it a lot longer. This is mine. You're mine. My pretty, you're mine. Okay, type of vibes. Is that was super creepy? Yeah. Okay, so this is what's happening in the shadow. Now remember, this would be you or anybody else. It doesn't necessarily need to be you. If it's something that's been in your experience, though, you'll know how it applies. You creepster. And I just see like somebody has a tattoo of the Grim Reaper on their arm. Somebody here, you're thinking a lot about a loss that you had of a person who had a tattoo of a Grim Reaper somewhere. Somebody who passed. How quickly that happened. Okay. All right. Let me see what else we have. Next position, and we'll see what else we get out of this. Okay. What has allowed this to continue and why? Oh, I just heard something else. So somebody here, information comes to you to tell you that somebody's really been talking a lot of trash. They've been talking a lot of trash since you left. This is somebody who you left alone, and they've been talking a lot of trash because you left, and you left because it didn't feel right being around them. Like, it doesn't feel good being in their presence. You know, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. The card said it didn't mean that they're a bad person, but something about hanging out with them made you notice that you didn't feel good hanging out with them, so you stopped hanging out with them. Now that it's over, somebody here is upset and they're talking trash. Okay. Are you worried about what they're gonna think because you left? You're like, well, I wonder what they're saying about me now. Like, that's not gonna be beneficial to you. Okay. What has allowed this to continue? So why is this happening? We have tolerance, thrive-briety. The word tolerance, I heard because you keep putting up with it. You've been putting up with it. Is this somebody who trash talks you all the time and you've been aware of it, but you've been putting up with it, and that's why it keeps happening? And now it's getting to a point where, like, it's stuck in your head all the time. Like, oh my God, why do I keep hanging out with this person? When everything I say is a negative remark, they always think that I'm doing something bad. They're always making false accusations of me. Oh, they are not emotionally available with that King of Swords energy. That King of Swords energy could be, I heard he's a cold-hearted snake. He don't play by rules. Oh. Girl, don't be the fool, yeah. You've been putting up with it with somebody who's not loving you. They're very, I heard they're very direct and to the point in the way that they speak to you. There's not a lot of love in the conversation, but you've been putting up with it. Okay? Tolerance. You've been tolerating a situation. It's interesting here because this man, he's got a feather, and it's like he's got a, it's almost like he's got a gravity bong, but he's airing and letting it go to the air. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Hold on. Let's see what else. Okay. So with him, what's allowed this continue? We have the Lovers and the Page of Wands. The Lovers and the Page of Wands coming out with the Thrive-briety card. What's allowing this to happen? Okay. So somebody here, what's happening in the shadows, you're still processing a situation, and the way this Page of Wands is looking back at the Lovers, is this a past situation with a Gemini or a previous lover that you had? How you have tolerated the situation for a long time. How you have just dealt with your emotions. I heard you never even got an apology, or you never got peace behind it. Is it that you never got closure? Because I got that too. You never got closure. All right. There's this energy in this Thrive-briety card too about like having a realization. What's allowed this to happen is you're having a realization. You've been having different realizations. There's been more for you to discover about the choices that you make and it's coming in choices that you're making now. It's coming in choices that you're making now. You're looking at something and you're saying, is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Or am I tolerating? Is this love that I'm giving and receiving? Or am I just tolerating some stuff? Okay. Next position. Let's see what else. What is it? Let me see what it says. What's the application to shift the trajectory advantageously? In other words, what do you do? What can you do to help this go better? Walking meditation, just go. OMG. Don't sit there and try to tolerate a conversation that you're like, it's like you're sacrificing your time. You're sacrificing this many minutes of my life. I'm sacrificing. Have you ever watched a TikTok or a short video somewhere, or even a long video somewhere, or a long movie, and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch and why? What was the point of that? I still don't get it. Have you ever, yeah. One time, I sat through this video of somebody saran wrapping their toilet seat and putting candy into a hole. It was weird. It didn't make no sense. Why would you do that? And I'm like, what did I just watch and why? So it feels like that. Like there's a situation, and when you get around them, like they're always talking about, is it that they're always talking about the past? Is it that you're getting around somebody who's always talking about the woes of the past? Oh, and they're reminding me of the conversation about my friend who mentioned, the struggle of his family line for so many years on both sides and how oppressed they are and all of that. I heard some people, they wear their struggles as a badge of honor. Is that what's been happening here? But you're like so over it. You're like, so right now what I'm seeing in this, what you really want to do, you're standing there, right? But what you really want to do is like put some fog out and disappear like a magician, boom, the fog shows up. And then you just, now when the fog clears, you're not there no more. You're asking yourself, and now this smoke that's in here is giving me the energy of confusion. You're like, what did I just listen to? Why am I listening to this? Again, I'm getting that energy. Okay. So what to do to fix that? Just go. Like, it doesn't get any more plain than that. Like the card says, just go. Walking meditation. You need to go. Why are you putting up with something? Which is what I did. I could have sat at each of the other places and waited to see, was it going to change or something? Okay. So here's something that was coming to me today too, because I'm like, while I was driving, one of the thoughts that occurred to me was, I'm a powerful attractor of everything, right? And then the other thing that came into me with that was, yeah, but at the same time, it's like a beacon going off, drawing me to where I want to be, to what I want, to what I choose to see for myself. So both of those energies were there. And now it's like, I'm hearing it's a delicate blend of waiting and calling it in. But when you get that gotta take a dump urge to go, you just go. You just follow it. You don't always know why you're being led to where you're being led to, but you go because your spirit is calling you to go. And part of the way your spirit is calling you to go, because where you're at doesn't feel so hot anymore. It doesn't feel so hot anymore where you're at. So you get the feeling you need to just go. This is what's going to help shift the energy for you when you just leave. Get out of that space, get out of that experience, get out of that energy. With that, we have the 10 of Cups. Yeah. And the Page of Cups. So yes, this Page of Cups is like where your spirit is calling you to. So you've identified, I want this type of experience in life. What we've been talking a lot about lately is the way you feel now is going to show you how you're going to be feeling later. So there's something here about you're feeling good, but when you step into an energy, it doesn't feel so hot. And so you remove yourself from that energy and you go somewhere else because it's calling you to a better feeling. It feels like the 10 of Cups. This feels like happy. This feels like the warm and loving greetings I got when I bumped into the two boys, Michael and Quincy, today. The happy feelings, right, that I got hanging out with them. And then it was like, and more were drawn in. But first, I followed my own feeling of, I feel like I need to do this. I feel like I want to go here. I feel like I want to go there. I feel like I want to have this experience. And I followed that. And then I found meaningful conversations that were beneficial in ways that was healing for me and the listeners and the others who were conversing with me as I listened, right? Telling me, well, they tell me their story. I listen, I observe. It's healing. It was really, really beautiful. But there's a strong message here too. Follow that calling. Follow that calling. Just go. When it calls you and you're like, I don't know, but I really want to go over here. And maybe you just pass through somewhere and you're not staying long, right? Maybe you're just not staying long somewhere where you're going, but you need to pass through there for whatever reason. Just go. Just go. And somebody is listening to this, and to them, that's just crazy and a waste of gas and a waste of money. Okay, this is probably not your message, because this has a lot to do with the energy of everything happens for a reason. But just because you're called somewhere, doesn't mean you have to stay there. Now, they just showed me something else really beautiful. Yeah, for example, you'll be called to have different types of relationships, and some of them will be more profound and longer lasting, while others will be more surface and lightweight and short term, right? Like the people that I bumped into tonight. One of them I just met once, and I just met him again tonight, and then the other one I've met several times, but I had a more deeper, profound conversation with him tonight. And so it's like, you get called to go. You don't know how long it's going to last. You don't know what the purpose of it is. But when it's done and it's time to go, you get the trigger feeling to go. Somebody here, you're feeling the urge to cut loose from something. And when you're staying there, there's this feeling going on inside of you. You don't quite fully understand why, but you feel like, I just don't want to be here no more. Something is calling you. Just go. Just go. Somebody here, if you've been going back and forth, you have an opportunity where you can move somewhere else, or you can do something different. You have an opportunity to try another career field. Now they're showing me how the one guy was talking about not knowing what he wanted to do now that he closed his hair salon. You may not know where you want to go, what you want to try. You're going to get guided. Okay. You're going to get called. And when you get called to go, just go. And you're going to know it's time to go, because where you're at is not going to feel good to you. You might walk around the room and find that for whatever reason, it's just not resonating with you today. And maybe it normally does resonate with you. So it could be a little bit, mind-boggling. I'm hearing the phrase mind-boggling when you walk into a place that you love to normally love to be, and you've spent a lot of time in that energy, and you've had a lot of great times there. However, you could walk into that place next time and feel that this is just not feel right for some reason. Okay, that's because it's time for you to go somewhere else. I heard this is one of the ways that timing is referenced in your experience, and you receive guidance on timing, because the timing, when you get that gotta take a dump urge to go and you ignore it, it feels really crappy. It feels really crappy to stay. It doesn't feel pleasant at all. You don't enjoy yourself, and you don't want to be there anymore anyways, because your spirit is calling you to go have this new experience, a different experience. So let's look at what the next position has now. Hold on, let me put these cards together. Okay. So next. Yeah, you've been tolerating a situation. It's important for you to let it go. It's time for you to just go. So what should be reviewed? What do you need to see in this energy? What do you need to see in this experience? So there's a reason why you haven't made the sacrifice or the offering to let go of this, so you can get something to replace it with. Okay. What is it you need to see here? The essence. It has Nana Buruku, and it says essence. I heard to see what it's made of, see how it's part of the magical elixir. Okay, so I've talked to a lot of people who are single parents, and they'll say things like, I can't believe they just don't come see their kid, or how could they call themselves a parent and they never have nothing to do with their kid, or it's been so long, and they'll be angry, they won't like it, and it's very much like they should, right? And so one of the things that I learned is sometimes, and I learned this through observation and through personal experience. Sometimes the people that you think should be there, okay, aren't there for a reason. And what is there because that's what's needed. And then sometimes people are there for a specific experience. Like some people are just there to be sperm donors or egg donors for this beautiful child's life, and they're not meant to be a part of the child's life. So there's a reason why something has happened. And you could be looking at it like this is bad. Like everybody's like, parents that don't and be involved with their children. Like there's this automatic knowing, like if you have a kid, you should take care of your kid and be in their life. And most of us, if you're attracted to this channel, like we all do everything we could for our children, right? But there's something here about seeing how this was the perfect recipe for what has become and what will become. Something's ready to be let go of. There's been a tolerating situation. Somebody has been tolerating something, and it doesn't feel good at all. It makes you feel confused. Like, why am I here? What am I even doing here? Somebody has been very cold. They've been icy cold. You've been wondering why you've been hanging out in this spot. You're looking at trying something different, but you have a lover. You have love for someone or something wherever you are. There's a reason you love, but you feel like you need to go. Why? Because if you let go of that, what's coming behind it, and it doesn't mean that they're bad people, you just don't feel good there no more. What's coming behind that, this is the offering that must be made to get what you want to receive. Why is it must be made? Because it's an energy that doesn't, it's almost like if it takes space for, what I see is it's taking the space of what you really want. So anywhere where you've been holding on to a person or experience or a place or an item, you want something different. I heard somebody here, they really want to upgrade their vehicle. They can't keep the both old one and the new one. If you want this, and I just heard, if you want this new life, if you want this new opportunity, if you want this new experience, you gotta let the old experience end. Okay, so there's something here about seeing the essence. Well, why was it a necessary part of the formula? This is like when I'm seeing a recipe. When you cook, it's a recipe. It has a lot of different spices. And there's a reason for each of the spices that makes the specific flavor. And so this experience that's coming through has something to do with the essence, the flavoring, the spice of this situation, very necessary. It must be, it's part of the formula. You need to see how this has been part of the formula, how this experience has taught you. Maybe it taught you tolerance. Maybe it taught you patience. Okay, maybe it just taught you about yourself. Yeah, you need to see that. And when you see that, there's gratitude, there's release, there's conscious awareness in this with the sun. Yeah, and this is how you overcome it with the Chariot. Once you get the essence of, oh, that's why that happened. This is how it starts. So this is totally giving me how I told you before, like, so there's something that you've been angry about, something that hurts. Once you can find a way that it improved you, improved your outlook, improved your mentality, made you a better, more empathetic, more sympathetic, more kinder person, more honest person, or more generous person, or more loving person, or more forgiving person, or maybe you were too forgiving and too loving and too generous and too kind. And so maybe the situation made you learn to have boundaries and limits and stand up for yourself and speak for yourself. For somebody here, that's what you need to learn, was to speak for yourself. This situation was the perfect homegrown recipe for you to develop. That is what I'm seeing. So you need to see that. What is it? What did it develop in you? How was it a key recipe towards developing who you've become, is the way I hear it, toward developing who you've become. Okay, so Was it just to help you identify what feels like shit and how you don't need to sit in it if it feels like shit? If you got some shit on your ass, I bet you're going to go jump your butt in the shower and wash it and check your diet after that. Woo! Check your diet after that. I heard check what you consuming after that. What are you taking in? Oh, boy. Somebody here, it doesn't feel good. And there's an issue as you see somebody like, why do I get sick every time I eat their cooking? I've realized that I never feel good. Like somebody you get bubble gut every time you eat somebody's cooking and you don't know why. That don't make no sense to you. Like in your physical body, somebody here, you're starting to put this together. Like there's something up. Every time I eat their food, I don't feel so hot. Or maybe it's from a restaurant, but I feel like this is either a person you're living with or you spend a lot of time with or something like that. It's almost like something always happens when you're around this energy. It took you a while to see your energy just pop through. If that's you, yeah, you're getting what you need right now. This is a big confirmation for you, I heard. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So what this next position is going to talk about, what's the supportive or the building elements in your abundance in this? So what should you embrace from this experience, from this situation? And we have the channel, animal energy channel. We also have the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Cups. Okay. So what is here to support you in this is, first off, it's made you more sensitive to the guidance from your spirit. Because this channel card with animal energy it's a very instinctual card. Is this where you instinctually, like you're sitting there saying to yourself, I knew it from the beginning. I could just feel it. I knew something was off. And you stay in the situation and you tolerate it and you tolerate it and tolerate it until it becomes clear what it is it's off, till you realize you go through this experience. It's not exactly desired, but beneficial because it makes you aware of where you are receiving the internal guidance, and how it's coming through your feelings, So this guy's got his eyes closed and he's got his hand on this tiger's back. And so it's giving me like through the feeling of your raw emotion, it's showing you where to persist, where to stand still with that 7 of Wands, and where to walk away with the 8 of Cups. So embrace that this is what it is. I heard this should help you be a lot less mad about feeling mad and a lot less sad about feeling sad. Oh shit, I feel sad today. Okay, so there's something in this day, and the sad says there's something here to release because it's taking me away from my true essence. And back to the essence card in the last position, your true essence is divine love. You are divine love in this physical vessel. You are divine love. And so that is showing you, and what you should embrace is like your feelings are always going to show, always going to be in tune instinctually and inspirationally. And is that the right word? Inspirationally? Inspired through how you feel about a situation. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but if you hang out in this experience and it keeps feeling like shit, you don't have to be there. And it doesn't say anything about their quality of being or who they are. And it doesn't say nothing about yours. It just says, like, for whatever reason, you're not supposed to be there right now. And you're going to sense that in your emotions where it doesn't feel good. And then, you can follow the path of what feels better from it. So embrace that. Embrace the fact that when you don't feel good about something, it's telling you there's something here. It could be in your mind. Maybe this walking away we're talking about, and choosing the better feeling and going to the 10 of Cups energy that came out in your cards. Is that just about your thoughts? Your thoughts for you? Is that about your thoughts about what ended, or about a past lover, or about this experience that was not pleasant that you went through, right? But you have a lot of, when you start to think about it, you get caught up in your head, and it's like you get caught up in a swirl of negative emotion and oh man, I fucked up, like I should have never did that, or what a bad decision. And I heard self-judgment and self-criticism and harshness, browbeating yourself. I heard browbeating yourself about what you did in the past. Okay. I heard doing it in the past is a sacrifice to help you not do it again. Some of you, and then here you are again, and it's going to happen in many different ways, in many different times in life, with many different experiences, where all of a sudden you realize, like, this is just not it for me. I don't feel comfortable here. I don't feel right here. I feel like I need to just go. And when that feeling hits, honor it. Sometimes it's always taking you to something that's more aligned with you. It's always like the beacon. So Source never stops ringing the call for you to come towards what you truly feel better with. That's why what feels bad feels bad. Source is not going to change. God is not going to change. God is the same, always is, always was, always will be. The universe, the energy, source is the same, always was, always will be. These universal laws are bigger than our individual energy. It's a collective energy, and it's fixed. It's a fixed energy. These are the universal laws. They're going to play out the way they play out. And the way these energies feel is part of it. Lower vibrations and higher vibrations is real. When you're sensing those lower vibrations about a situation and where you're hanging out and it feels like shit, it's letting you know which way to go. And when you have a situation where you're hanging out and you feel awesome around them, you're able to bring out your best you with these people. This is where you want to be. This is where you want to be. This is where you want your energy. This is what's calling you. And so somebody here, you think that going somewhere else is going to make you feel better. It might. It really might. Okay? Because you've got it in your head that it's going to make you feel better. And I feel like this going somewhere is because the more you hang out here, wherever here is, or with whoever that is, the more you notice that every time I hang out here, I feel crappy. I know this feels like shit. There's a reason why, and if you understood that that's a GPS sensor telling you that you want to go, then you would act and you would go. All right. So what you need to know, what's the catapult is our next position. What's a catapult? What you need to know, there's a catapult here. What does a catapult do? It takes you from here to there. It helps you to launch. You launch from one place to another. A catapult will send you further than you could go by yourself. Okay, so let's see. What is it? You need to know this. And we have intergalactic mastery confirmation. Hello. Hello, the catapult is, you get confirmation from the universe. So this is like, I left both of the first places that I stopped to. I was called to go there, but I wasn't called to stay. This is that short term, you go on one date with a person and then y'all never talk again. Ain't nothing to feel bad about. It was meant to happen the way it was meant to happen, and then you go about your way. This is that person that you have one conversation with, you think they're awesome, would love to see them again, but they were just part of a confirmation that you're on your way. So you're getting confirmation as signs, okay, that raise your vibration. Every time you stop tolerating something that feels crappy and you set your foot down in a new direction, okay, that feels better, you'll get confirmation on that path to let you know. And this could happen with chance meetings, with bumping into old friends, with receiving news that you've been waiting for, with finding some magical item that the universe delivered to the feet on the floor outside your door or outside your car, or surprise happening, surprise winnings, surprise phone calls, surprise gifts, surprise mail, surprise invitations, all of these different things. There's confirmations here for you Great tip. I see a waitress. Intuitively, I see a waitress. You work at some sort of diner and you get a great tip as a confirmation, and you're like, oh man, I know I made the right choice when I stopped putting up with that, because now today, here I am. I just stopped. I decided this morning I wasn't going to do that. Now here, look, this amazing thing happened to me. So whether you're actually at a diner, somebody is actually at a diner, but others, you're wherever you work or whatever you do every day, and you get confirmations along the way to let you know that letting go of this, that releasing that, freeing it to go be what it is, because it's clearly not feeling right for you, that you've allowed and opened up space for you to have what is allowed and feels right for you. And so in the shadow in this, there's a part of you that's like, you've been tolerating it and you haven't want to, or you've been tolerating because you feel like you have to. You feel obligated to tolerate a situation that feels like crap. Okay, so you get confirmation when you finally just go, as the card plainly said, just go. The confirmation, boom, Ace of Cups, self-love. Coming out with the Lovers, attracts lovers in others. It attracts love. So as you're sitting in the highest vibration with you and you go in your world, you just go. Where are you going? Where did you go? Wherever you go, you find more lovers, more love, more friendship, more great times, more people who are lovers, like you're a lover, like I'm a lover, not a fighter. So can't we just all get along? We can. Watch. Look at this. We are all getting along. What do you know? So there's that energy here of like, this is a catapult for you. So I see you getting confirmation in chance meetings. I see chance meetings. Somebody here, one of the confirmations is going to be a lover showing up. And you guys are very similar. But this is also, the Lovers card is a card that talks to me about balancing the divine feminine and divine masculine qualities within. So there's also confirmation in that you feel better and you feel in alignment. The Lovers is a card of alignment, of an aligned connection. Yes, that's what the Lovers is. I love that. It's a very scientific, energetic simplification of what the Lovers card means. It is an aligned connection. And it's a connection that's in alignment with the higher vibration, right? Where they're showing it. So anytime I see the Lovers card, the Devil's card is in my awareness, because it's like the opposite energy of the Lovers card. And it's like the disaligned. It's a disalignment, a misalignment of energy in the Devil's card. So what are you finding? The confirmation, you're finding something or someone you love, or multitudes of them, because I see, as you see how this pyramid is there and there's this like ribbon. It's like, as you're on your path, every time this ribbon swirls, and that's you walking your path, stuff that you love shows up in your life. And there are confirmation. Some of these connections with others that you are having as confirmation are going to be part of what's going to push you forward. This would be like me telling the guide today, I'm really good at coaching. So I channel guidance, and I use the cards and stuff like that. So Paul Donna, one of my other homies that was there, he pipes up. He says, you're not good at what you do. He says, you're fucking the best at what you do. You are the best. You're always on point. You're always right. You're so great at what you do. You're not just good. So again, this is like going out, following the path of bliss, meeting the different connections, allowing them to show you what it has for you. And then they're being developmental towards what you've really been beckoned to, what you've really been called to, that has really mattered to you from the beginning, how you want to present yourself to be of service, how you want to present yourself in a relationship, how you want to present yourself in life. You've been looking for opportunities. You've been following your spiritual guidance. It's leading you to perfect connection. So these are people who will support your business or your life purpose, or who have the right ideas, or who know somebody who knows somebody, or who is somebody to know, right? All of these types of things are happening. And this is a for you. So what's your best course forward to attain your goal? What do you need to do? What you need to do at this time? Wow, the gateway and vision. They said take that bold step into your vision. Look at this. This is a beautiful card. So she's at the gate and she sees this giant glowing heart. So follow, taking me back to the conversation in the car on my way from the first spot to the second spot, where it was like, yeah, I am attracting what I want. The spirit says, but you also need to listen to the call and go where you're guided. In this card, she's gone where she's going where she's guided. So what do you need to do? Go where you're guided. Damn, with the Chariot, get in your car and go. This is how you take forward. This is putting you on Victory Road. The Chariot, we haven't called it being Victory Road. I'm being Victory Road in a while, but it is Victory Road. The Chariot says you're on Victory Road. The actions you're taking you lead to your success. The Chariot is a winner's card. It's a victory card. It's where obstacles are removed and you finally can advance forward on your path. The gate is now open. Walk through the gate towards your vision. And of course, Mariah singing in my ear in her younger voice, I had a vision of love. Yeah, follow your vision of what you love. Go through the gateway. Go through the golden arches right to your heart. Somebody, I don't know why I just got this. If you're in love with somebody at McDonald's, like, quit playing yourself. Go get your baby. Who cares if they work at McDonald's? Okay, somebody here fell in love with somebody that worked at McDonald's. That just came through strong. I don't know, but go through the golden arches because your heart is there. There's somebody there. And for you, I feel like you're very well off. And this person is really awesome. You are mind blown, boggled to find that they work at a McDonald's. You're so smart. Like, you're so wise. You are such a great conversationalist. I can't believe you work at McDonald's. It's a vibe. Like, it's what's happening. Somebody here, you know your heart is turned on with this person. Yeah, if that's you, you know this person. You know there's something that their heart matches the way you are. See, the color of the heart inside the center of the heart is the same color as this dress. And so what I see is like the way you are. This is who you are. This is how you come out into this world. This is how you present yourself. But ain't nothing gonna make you do it but your own calling on your own heart. And their heart matches the way you show up. Yeah, it has the same colors on the dress as the heart. So there's something here about go. Just go. Because you have a vision and it's calling you forward. So let's see what else we have. The Strength card. The Strength card. Coming out with, oh yeah, the Chariot. So we have the Chariot and the Strength card. Yeah, this is a powerful calling. Your best course forward. Follow the powerful calling on your heart. It could be guiding you to drive someplace different. It could be guiding you to take a trip. It could be guiding you. There's some sort of physical action you got to take with this that you want to do. Now let's look at what's your desire, what's your aim, what you want to get. What you want to get. Well, first off, somebody here, what you want to get is your divine masculine, but you've been messing around with a bunch of chump change because we had the Page of Pentacles also over here. Okay, so you want somebody, you have an idea. Okay, of how you want to be. You have the idea and you're like, what do I need to do? What do you need to do? Learn how to follow your emotional guidance system in your practical everyday life, in your physical 3D waking world. How can you apply if you knew that your emotional guidance system was guiding you? What would you do if it was guiding you to everything you wanted? Okay, that energy is there. What is it that you want in this? You want to know, this young person, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? There needs to be some boundaries, okay? The Emperor, you want to feel protected. It feels weird when you hang out with somebody. You would like to feel protected and cared for, but when you hang out with somebody's vibe, it doesn't feel that way, so you need to go where it feels better. Okay, let me see what's at the bottom of here. Wow. Or Zuli, it's pay attention. Pay attention. And we have a mother holding the child. Okay. All right. Somebody here. this has been about a daycare service or a babysitter or something like that, or your husband or the child's father. You get a feeling it doesn't feel right. You want to know what you should do. It does not feel right. You got to pay attention to your spirit. If your spirit is telling you to just go and see what's going on and meet the kid at school or whatever it is, go do that, okay? Keep following your vision. Somebody here, you haven't met the person that you are meant to be with. You feel like you've just been tolerating people in your relationships. Whatever it is that you're being called to let go of right now, whether it's a friendship or a love ship or whatever kind of ship it is, let it go, because you are trying to pay attention to the signs so you could get what you deserve in a relationship. That don't feel right, so don't play yourself. I heard don't play yourself. I also see where you have a goal for your business, okay? So you're being guided to go put yourself out there, because other people resonate with what you're talking about. And for a lot of you, you just wanted to understand better. You wanted to be in a higher level of self-mastery. You wanted to understand, what can I do to have a better life? How can I improve my luck? How can I just be fucking happy with what I am living? Your spirit is calling you which way to go to have that experience, and it's taking you through these experiences to make you aware of what the inner guidance system is showing you. So if you tolerated a situation and that shit took a real shit on you, and don't be mad, try not to be too mad about it, because it taught you a lot. I mean, this is how you're going to release it. Everything happens for a reason. It's all part of your journey. Even if you don't stay there long, it's all leading you to some place where you're going to have a long-term conversation, a long-term connection, something that is, it's fresher, it's newer, but it's going to present a lot more stability in your experience. It's going to be more long-lasting and long-term than what you have had and what you have experienced up until now. Wow, that was a lot. So that's what I have coming out in the shadows. I want to read the first card again. It said, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. Notice how you feel when you're with a person. If you feel like shit, don't hang out with them. It's that straightforward, for reals. They don't have to be a bad people for you to choose not to engage. It may just be your reaction to them. Even if you can't remove yourself from their presence completely, you can at least check in with that part of you that gets crazy and give it the love it needs. So there's that message. I pulled a card from the Oracle of Shadows and Light when we started, so I'm going to read that. But what you talking about here? I was asked to go on a trip to Stewart Island in December. I think I might go. Ooh, that sounds like a ball, girl. You better go have a party for me. I'm just saying. That sounds fun. And that, oh my gosh. And so while I'm reading your comment, I'm just thinking about how in so many of your readings, Spirit's constantly telling you, go out, go experience this big old world and see what it has for you. Now, all that personal commentary that I was just discussing totally applies with this. It totally applies with this, because this whole reading, because all I just saw was like, yeah, your spirit's been telling you there's this whole world out there for you to experience. There are so many people who are going to love you. Why are you sticking with this situation? Because you love somebody or because, this is all you know, or this is all you've been in. And it feels like shit every time you do it. One of the things that's going to be required to feel better is to stop sitting in shit that feels like shit. Take a shower, wash that shit off. Let it go down. When you take the shower, it all go down the drain. You never see it again, right? And that was one of the things that I mentioned from my personal conversations with my friends today. My love does not necessarily equal my presence, and that's okay. We're all part of this giant oneness. And so however we influence each other, sometimes I just heard, sometimes somebody will come into your life to steer you in another direction. And that's how Spirit is guiding you. This feels like crap. So go over there. Go over there. We're trying to get you over there. Go over there. Go over there. I'm trying to get you over there. So yeah, this was really cool. I really like the way this came out. Wow. I'm so thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. So I feel like I want to do a little message for each of the zodiac signs with this. It's not something that I often do, but it's something I've been called to do one time recently and again now. So let's go ahead and start where the sun is in Leo right now. So we'll start with Leo energy. For Leo, let's get a card of guidance specific to the zodiac sign of Leo. Leo energy, please and thank you. Zodiac message for the zodiac sign of Leo. In regards to this energy, experiencing it, because remember, we're going to speak to you in an umbrella language so that all of you are able to get your message about your specific situation. So don't freak out if every reading you watch feels like it's your reading, because the way spirit works, they're able to get me to say the message in an umbrella way, a blanket energy that covers all these different detailed experiences, so that you know exactly what I'm talking about in your life, so that more of you can receive your message. I heard so that all of you can receive your message. That's the difference between my channel and other channels, is there's something here for everyone who watches this. Everything you watch is going to have something for you. And so that narrows the audience that's ready to receive. And that's okay. If I did it where all these messages might not be for you, remember, every reading might not be for you. I hear a lot of readers say that. And you know what that does? That means you're going to watch a reading that has nothing to do with you. And I don't want that for you. I want you to always get something. So in every reading, there's something here for you. And you're attracted to watch it for a reading. So what was it that was here for you? Okay, let's go to Leo. Guidance for Leo. Back to where we're. The Four of Cups. Four of Cups, put quite simply, is opportunity beckons. What are you gonna accept? Are you gonna choose for you, or are you gonna choose to make them happy with you? Are you gonna lift your head to see the opportunity that's beckoning to you? Opportunity is here. And if it feels like crap, it's gonna feel like crap on the back end too. If it feels like fantastic and this is where I'm being called, and it feels like pure joy, you know that there's going to be more of it down that path. So keep going. All right. So the way you accept it is the way it's going to unfold for you. All right. Let's do next the Virgos, for Virgo energy. And as I say, these zodiac signs: Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, Venus, and even Black Moon Lilith. But yeah, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, and Venus in particular. Let's go ahead and see for Virgo now. What's the message and guidance specific for Virgo zodiacs? For Virgo, please. What's the message for Virgo? One card. Perfect. You have the Eight of Swords. Virgo, for you, the guidance for you is to look at where you're keeping yourself stuck in that pattern, because there's a limited perspective. Open-minded perspective is going to be invaluable for you at this time. If you could open your perspective, free your mind and the rest will follow. Yes, because some of you, you're saying, yeah, but that's my family. And so you're stuck in an old paradigm. You're stuck in an old paradigm of you must do this because you were born here. And that's not necessarily the truth. My mother used to tell me something that's going to be beneficial to you. You've probably heard me say it before if you've been here for a while. Just because you were born in the shit don't mean you need to stay in it. You could get up, clean yourself off, and move on. Yeah. All right. So next up, let's see. Libra is next. So Libra, what is the perfect guidance for the Libra viewers, for those who have Libra? One card, please, for Libra. One card for Libra. This one. Okay, thank you. And it's the Ten of Cups. Libra, just choose love. You have abundant connections available for you. The people around you in your experience, they love and adore you. You have the opportunity to choose love. You know that everything is an opportunity. So look for what is this, how is this opportunity benefiting me? I deserve this, and this is why. This is what I received from it. It's delivering something to you. Some of it is confirmation of how far you've come. Some of it is confirmation of the value and worth you see in yourself. Some of it is going to be confirmation about the fact that you are loved all over the place. Yeah, I see that for you. Libra as your guidance. Let's get some guidance for Scorpio now. What's the energy for Scorpio? What's the guidance for specific to Scorpio? For Scorpio, please. What's the guidance for Scorpio in this experience? Scorpio energy is the Page of Wands in reverse. If it feels like crap, that's because it's shit. Flush it. Just like you would take a dump. Yeah. Flush it. Let it be gone. The Page of Wands is in reverse. If it feels like it's not good news, no bad news bears. We don't do bad news bears. We are not the bearers of bad news. Okay, we don't want to be the bearers of bad news, but you have to remember that you don't have to accept it. Just because it's on offer doesn't mean you have to accept it, okay? You don't have to accept it. Don't go looking for the bad news side of it either. Don't go looking for things to go wrong, I heard. Okay, next up, we'll do Ophiuchus, however you say it. I heard it said both ways. So let's see, what is the guidance for those? Okay, Ophiuchus. We have the Queen of Cups coming out. She is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, feminine energy. She's highly intuitive, receptive, nurturing, loving, and kind. How can you see the love in all of them? That is the guidance for you. How can you see the love in all of them experiences and all of them people and all of those relationships? There is a loving opportunity there. And even though they didn't express the love to you, you can see it, and you have honed your ability to yield to your intuition. Again, repetitive. These suggestions are very repetitive to what we have already talked about in the reading about developing your ability to listen and understand what your emotions are telling you in situations is going to make you more sensitive to your spiritual intuition. Like, you want to be intuitive. Learn to read what is your emotions. That's opening that path, I heard. Okay. Sagittarius energy. What is the guidance for our Sagittarius zodiac sign? What is the guidance for Sagittarius viewers? Okay. What's this energy? This one. The Judgment card. Judgment card. Okay. Second chances, as you call it out, so it comes about. Okay. So there's an energy here of, listen, you don't always have to give second chances, but the second chance should definitely be the last chance. The second chance should be the last chance. There should be no thirds and fourths. If you already gave somebody a second chance, I'm hearing, let your word be your bond. Because when you tell somebody, I'm going to give you a second chance, the universe hears you. And if you don't stick to that, and then you proceed to give third and fourth and fifth and however many numbers of chances, because I feel like you didn't give a whole fuck ton of chances, more than another second chance, and another second chance, and another second chance, and another second chance, and another second chance. And that's getting really annoying. But you get the drift? Yeah. Yeah. Because all you're doing, understand that when you do that, all you're doing is opening the door for the same thing to happen again. And you're allowing yourself to tolerate it. Showing me the tolerance card that came out in your spread. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Next up, let's see for Capricorn energy. What's the specific guidance for Capricorn energy? Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Specific guidance for Capricorn energy in this experience, please. That one wants to talk. It flew in a specific way. Justice. Okay. So Capricorn, for you, this is talking about not taking responsibility for karmic repercussions of others. You can't save them from the karma that they have acquired for themselves. I don't care how much you love them, or how close you are to them, or how great they are in bed, or how close, how long you've been friends, or, oh, this is my family, or whatever. So for you, Capricorn, it's important for you to let, so there's something that happens in your energetic field when you decide that you need to receive and tolerate and go through the karmic repercussions of another. You are claiming their karma for yourself, and you're going to have to go through processes to readjust to your own energy. So there's a situation here where somebody is in negative experience right now, and it's a side effect of all the shit that they done did. All the dirt they did is coming home to give them a payday, baby. Yes, all the things we do in this life, you're earning. You're gonna earn something for that. There's seeds planted, and you gotta reap the fruit of it. So there's the energy there for you, Capricorn. Let's see for Aquarius now. If you're Aquarius zodiac sign, for Aquarius, what's the specific guidance for Aquarius? Here we have The World. Wow, they're saying you've successfully ended this cycle. Take time to sit in your satisfaction about it. Take time to honor what you've done. It's okay it's okay to take time to appreciate your journey, honor your success in this, and just sit in the feeling of accomplishment. Like, dude, you've leveled up. Okay, your world is going to change because your energy has changed, Aquarius. I love that for you. Yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. So you've completely, they also want you to be fully aware that you have completely gone through every level of that specific experience that has come to an end, and you've accomplished, you've leveled yourself up. In other words, the next time you come around to an experience that looks like that, you'll be in a whole different headspace. You will be a whole new being. And so you'll hit it from that new headspace. You're not what you were. So don't freak out if you attract something similar next time. It's coming in next time to solidify what you've become. Okay, to solidify what you've become. All right, next up, Pisces energy. What is the specific guidance for Pisces energy, please? For Pisces. Specific guidance for Pisces energy. For Pisces energy, your specific guidance is the Queen of Pentacles. So the way she's holding her pentacle right there in front of her face is like, look at how you have developed in this experience. It's important for you to do the self-development work, okay? And it's like, also, she is, with her being the queen of self-development, there is also a strong message for Pisces that it's important for you to focus on building yourself up, getting yourself on your feet. Like, I feel the energy in Pisces, like, you haven't necessarily been on your feet, okay? You have been, why am I hearing crawling around on your belly? There's something here about letting yourself get up on your feet. I see somebody who's been like down physically. Maybe this is your physical health, because I'm picking up on somebody's energy. Your energy is coming through, Pisces, where you've been in the bed. You've been in the bed, like healing from something. It could have been emotional, like a stress, a trauma, a depression behind whatever this was that's ending, right? So for you, there's the energy of you got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, baby. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps and keep going. Yes. All right. Next up, we have Aries. Let's see. What's the specific guidance for the zodiac sign of Aries in regards to the message that we've received here today? Okay, so all the Aries viewers, what's the message for Aries? Aries, this one. You have the Knight of Wands, Aries. Listen to inspiration. Listen to inspiration. This is take inspired action. So the technique I did tonight, which was just letting myself be blown by the wind, letting the spirit lead me, guide me, take me. I am here. What should I do? It's that type of a vibe. Like, you need to follow some inspiration. So Aries, I feel like you're going to get an invitation to go do something. Say yes to the invitation. Go. Have the experience. Get out. Have some fun. This is the Knight of Wands. This is an energy of go out and do some dancing. Go do some exercise. Say yes to that invitation and go enjoy that. Okay, this is the energy of playing. This is follow inspiration. Follow that gotta take a dump urge. That gotta take a dump urge. You're going to get up and you're going to go. You're going to get the get up and go urge. Go. Is this, I see somebody intuitively, I see your energy where you're driving home on a different path, a different roundabout path. I see the movie The Truman Show, and I see, like, you said, oh my God, it's the same thing every day. And then you think of the movie Truman Show, so you're like, I wonder what will happen if I go a different way. Well, what you'll find is you won't be blocked off trying to go the other direction, but what you will find is synchronistic events and circumstances that will show you that it was your spirit guiding you. Yeah. Next up, Taurus. What is the specific guidance for our Taurus viewers in this energy for this reading at this time for Taurus? Okay. Taurus. Oh, it flipped right over. And what do we have for you, Taurus? You have the moon. You have the moon, okay? The moon is coming out and it's saying, Taurus, It's okay to not know everything. You may not know where you're going. You just keep following that intuitive calling. You keep following that intuitive calling. You're saying to yourself, I don't know where I'm going. I really don't know what's going on. Keep applying the emotion. Oh, yeah. The moon also talks about emotions. Following your emotional guidance system. Keep allowing your emotional guidance system to guide you when you don't know where you're going or you don't know what you're doing. This is always going to lead you to some bliss that's out there for you. This is always going to lead you to something of interest that's out there for you. So keep doing that for you, Taurus. That's important. All right, next up, zodiac sign of Gemini. What's the specific guidance for Gemini energy in regards to this message? Thank you. Falling to the floor, Tower. In reverse, Gemini, let it go, baby. Let it go before it crashes on your head and let the universe conspire. So I see a Gemini who's like looking for some shit to get into. You could be looking for some shit to get into. First off, it's going to happen by surprise. Following the path of bliss is where you find surprises. Surprises feel like bliss. So you got to do the things you love to align with stuff falling into play with you. But the other thing I'm seeing is, like Gemini, there's something you've been holding on to with, I'm getting white knuckle fists, and you gotta let it go. You can't keep holding on to this. As long as your hands are busy holding on to that, you're not going to be able to open your hands to what else is available for you. So open your hands, release it, let it go, okay? Before it falls on your head, whatever that means, before it falls on your head. Oh my goodness, Gemini, heavy emphasis if you got hit on the head by something that fell today. I just saw that. I just saw like somebody sitting in a chair and the painting fell off the wall, or the knick-knack fell off the wall and it hit somebody on the head. If that was you, boo. I was going to give you points and we're like, no, don't give them points. Give them counsel to get the fuck out already. Like, serious, this is a sign that you need to go from whatever that is. Okay. Interesting. Right? You know you've got to go. All right. So next up, our final zodiac sign, Cancer. What is the perfect guidance for Cancer? Zodiac sign in this energy. Cancer. One card, please, for Cancer. What's the message for those viewers who are Cancer zodiac? Here we go. It's the Judgment card. The Judgment card is saying, so I heard freedom, but before that, I heard you made wise choices. Okay. Continue to call it out. And now there's something happening here. The way this angel is blowing its horn, but there's flowers down here. So it's like, keep speaking life into what you want. Keep speaking life to it. This is a matter that's close to your heart. Keep speaking life into it. And I hear, and the confusion will dissipate. The confusion will dissipate. Make the decision, keep the decision. The next step. So somebody's name is Steph. If there's a person in your experience whose name is Steph, you need to make that decision already. Yeah, they said no points for you, neither. You only get counsel as well. You need to make that step already. You know what step it is. Take the next step. What is that next step? If their name is Steph, who the hell is Steph? I don't know a Steph. I mean, you call her Stephanie, we call her Heffany. Hey. Okay. Yeah. You've made a wise decision. And give yourself, Cancer, give yourself a chance to have that reinvigoration in your life. There's a reinvigoration in your life, a rebirth for you. This is a rebirth for you. So keep speaking it, because this angel in the horn is like putting an energy onto these flowers and it's making them grow. So it's keep speaking it into existence in alignment with what you already know. This is what I have for you for Tarot in the Shadows tonight. I'm so thankful and grateful to be here. Let's do our final message. The first card we pulled from the Oracle of Shadows and Light. We have the Winged Seer. You see clearly, and Clairvoyance. I'm going to read from the book and then I'm going to get out of here. So let's see. She's card number 12. Card number 12 talks about a different perspective because it's showing me the Hangman energy, but it also talks about using your power and to make things happen, to taking action and your authority to bring you to certain results that you've already seen. Magician and High Priestess energy. Okay, the Winged Seer. About the Winged Seer. The winged seer is an oracle angel, a being who can see the weavings of energy and thus the way events are set to unfold if the current energies and paths are followed. She then sends you your messages clairvoyantly through your ability to see clearly, although your visions may seem anything but clear. As you grow to trust your own clear-seeing moments, you will have brighter and brighter flashes of insight, and you will be able to see exactly what is going on within a situation in a flash. The winged seer speaks. As many people hide the truth even from themselves, it can be hard to receive a visit from me because I will help you see when someone is camouflaging and half-telling truths, and you will also have insights that seem to come from supernatural sources. It's as if you have changed sight. You can see further, higher, and more deeply within. You will experience flashes of the future and sudden understandings of the past, and you'll be able to foretell likely outcomes. I am the Eye of Ra, recreating your future with the Adrinka, the protective eye that watches over you while you sleep. And if you follow through on what you now clearly see, there will be illumination, victory, and wisdom. Trust that sacred sight. The divination message. Your clairvoyant ability is being enhanced by the winged seer. You may be able to tune in and remote view, almost be able to see behind doors and into rooms and receive images that let you know what someone is doing without you actually being there at the time. And all of these experiences will either empower or scare you. You have asked for more information, asked to discover what you need to know. Now that the information has come to you, you must be courageous and take action based on what you cannot logically explain. It is important now, more than ever, to be honest about what you can see, but most of all, to be honest with your own self. All this that you've been doing, remember we're talking about that when it feels like crap, it feels terrible to be in this energy, in this specific place, or with that specific person. Your intuition knows more than you do, and it is showing you to get the fuck out of Dodge. Yeah. It's time to go. Where are you going? I am going to the kitchen. I already did my going for today. Feel free to share your experiences in the comments. I love reading whatever you have to say. And thank you for everything you do for me. I'll be back with more, guys. Until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. 감사합니다. Gracias. Little bit. That's all, folks.